The carbon story continues. Taylormade Stealth 2. From looks, initial looks, they look different, but how different are they? For me personally, if I'm being completely honest with you at home, I didn't really buy into the old red face, carbon face storyline, but Taylormade have stuck with it. We've got a full review of the Fairway woods and they do not feature the famous marketing genius strategy red face, but today we're going to put through the paces Taylormade's new Stealth 2 Plus and Stealth 2 Standard drivers. We've also headed over to Scratch 18 to get some GC quad numbers on these. So in this video, we're going to cover absolutely everything. Sound, feel, tech, performance. Let's jump straight into it. Stealth 2, Taylormade, the new versions, the new bad boys on the block. Let's see how they perform. So Stealth 2 and Stealth 2 Plus. We're over on the 10th hole at Crondon Park, our home golf course. And I'm just going to start the video by hitting a few of these shots. So I've got 4 balls. I'm going to hit 2 with the Plus, 2 with the Standard, just to get a feel of what they're doing. Like I said, with the Stealth, I was never a big fan of the feel off of the face or the performance, if I'm completely honest. It's always been a bit too low spin for me. Let's start with the normal Stealth. This is probably the club I'd put in my golf bag. Let's hit 2 with this, 2 with the Plus. See what they're like? Simple as that, really. Let's see what they're like. Few visual differences between these two, which we'll get into. Nothing better than a first swing of the day driver into a narrow fairway. Do you know what? Sound-wise, that sounded better than what I remember. It's got a little bit left. I'm not too bothered about where these are going to start off with. Let's hit another one. That was relatively pleasing. That's a bomb. That's a nice high launch as well. Interesting, because I always struggle to launch them, like really struggle to launch them. But both of them have launched lovely. And for a carbon face, so that you're supposed to get that dull sound off of these, they actually sounded pretty nice. Let's go into the Stealth Plus. So this version, the lower spin model, slightly smaller head, looks behind the ball, look really good. But there are a few changes that Taylormade have made, which I'm not a fan of. That weren't so good. I'm just ripping through Pro V1s, starting to creep into the old not forgiving, have to hit it out of the middle feel again. I've just skied that as well. Right, well, as expected, off the rip, not the biggest fan of the Plus, but we'll give it a further test, we'll give it a second chance. That felt like the Stealth of old. That was surprisingly nice, the Stealth Standard version, Stealth 2. Let's get on to the next tee, dive into what actually Taylormade have changed with these golf clubs, because visually there's a lot, technology-wise, I'm not so sure. Right, so let's talk about the tech that are going into these Stealth 2s then. So both of them, as you can obviously guess, still feature the 60X carbon red face. You're getting that in the Stealth Plus, the Stealth HD, and the standard Stealth 2. You're also getting an advanced version of Taylormade's already in there inverted cone technology. Now, why it's advanced, I'm not too sure, but it's an improved version of their inverted cone technology, Taylormade are saying. It is also 2 grams lighter than the previous Stealth. 2 grams lighter these are than the previous model. And Taylormade are also claiming that these have a slightly larger sweet spot than what their baby brother, the Stealth, possessed. So the faces are still a polyurethane nano texture. And what that does in layman's terms for us at home is you can really control the condition. So when the club gets wet, the face gets wet, that does tend to have some form of side effects on the golf ball with regards to spin. With these having a nano texture on them, it just means it's more consistent in wet weather, pretty much in the UK. Not that I've never been a real big fan of that on driver technology, because we're hitting driver off of the tee, so the ball, if you clean your ball before you hit it, shouldn't be getting wet, but it does feature nano texture technology, which is obviously better to have than not have. Now, the inertia generator, which was on the back of the Stealth, and I think they actually introduced it in the what was it called? Sim. I think the Sim was the first to have the inertia generator. It's in there as well. It's just got a slightly redesigned to it, more sort of like of a thin towel at the end. And they've slapped a weight on the back of it in both clubs, weighing it around about 15 grams, just to reduce the CG, make it a little bit more forgiving, increase the MOI, but you're getting that inertia in all three heads as well. Then the last thing to mention is you're also getting Taylormade's speed pocket. Again, it was in previous iterations of this driver, but they've included it in the Stealth 2, Stealth 2 Plus and the Stealth 2 HD. So big differences visually, I'll bring them up on screen now. In the Stealth 2 Plus, you're obviously getting the sliding track that goes across the back of the golf club, which doesn't feature in the other two. But on the crown of the Stealth Standard, Stealth 2 Standard I'm going to call it, in comparison to the Stealth Plus, you actually get this little red ring that goes around the crown that I kind of like. So as you can see on the Standard Stealth, you actually have this red matte ring that goes around the back of the golf club. You have it on the high draw as well, but when you go onto the Stealth Plus, you've just got the matte ring that goes all of the way round the outside. And then, so as I previously alluded to, there is 3 head types in the new Stealth 2. You've got the Stealth 2 Plus, which is the lower spin, lower launch, more directed at player, smaller head at player, more directed at the better players, smaller head. You then have the Stealth 2 Standard, slightly bigger head, I think maybe slightly heavier weight in the back, a little bit more forgiving, higher launch, and then you have the Stealth 2 HD, which stands for high draw pretty much. So all of you big old slicers out there, you banana cutters, you might want to have a little look at the HD. Now, the one big visual change in these is that the top is no longer matte, it is now gloss. I'll show you, it's gloss, which I don't like. I preferred it the other way around. I preferred it with a matte crown and then a gloss ring that goes around the outside. It is still carbon. I'll try and show you the weave. Maybe you can't pick up the weave on the camera, but it is there. There's a carbon weave on the top and a carbon weave on the bottom. But this is kind of what I meant by they're visually different looking than the Stealth, but the technology that Taylormade are telling us are in there, it's the same. It's an improved inertia generator, improved inverted cone technology, exactly the same carbon face. So this kind of feels to me a little bit like just bringing out a new driver. And I don't think you're probably going to be missing much if you already own the Stealth. But I'm going to get rid of the Plus for the rest of this review because it's at 9 degrees. I don't hit up in it that much. I don't like this driver. Sorry, Taylormade. And I'm going to stick to the Standard Stealth to test for the rest of this video. I'm going to hit a couple off these tee box, then we're going to jump into the GC Quad to look at the data of this golf club. Sorry, we're going to be sticking with this for the rest of the video. Right, so let's see if I can find some fairways with the Standard Stealth. The dress behind the ball is actually really nice. It's like quite a nice pear shape, and then with that red ring that goes around the back, and then although I don't like the gloss, it's quite nicely framed with the carbon eyebrow, if you want to call it that, and then the red rim. I've ripped that as well. That is a really strong forward ball flight that's come out of that. That was nice. The sound was surprisingly not carbony as well. I don't know why, because it's exactly the same face as last year, but it definitely, to me, sounded a bit better than the previous Stealth. I don't actually know where that one went. Felt like I hit it really well. Not sure where that one just went. Right, one more. Full send. Ripped it. That is a lovely, lovely ball flight coming out of that. Enjoyed that. Right, let's get into the simulator, get on the quad, see what data this is giving us. Right, so down at the simulator, Scratch 18 in Harlow, and we've got the Stealth 2 in hand. We're going to jump on the GC Quad and get some data with this. We've actually filmed this before I was on the call, so I don't know if I love this golf club or hate this golf club, but I'm gonna hit 5 with this. Stiff shaft, Stealth Plus. Head's a lot smaller than what I'm used to, obviously in my drive, it being a max head, but let's get 5 with this. Look at the numbers. Hit that so bad. That one's massive. that one felt massive. If we go down to Stealth 2, ball speed jumps up quite a bit. So straight away it did feel quick off of the face. Goes up to an average of 172 ball speed, and I really haven't hit a lot of golf balls. Spin for me, which I found with the old Stealth, 1,945 on an average is just too low. And that's probably a little bit to do with it being a 9-degree head, me needing a little bit more loft. But I did find with the old Stealth, and I'm finding in this as well, it's a very, very low spin driver. And that's with a very soft, stiff shaft in it as well. So if you're thinking of buying this, it is going to be low spin. Total carry distance at 280, total distance at 314 yards. So I didn't hit all of them the best, to be honest. A couple out the toe, a couple out the heel, and it does seem a little bit more forgiving than what the old Stealth was, I would probably argue. Would obviously need to hit more balls, get more data capture, but from those there, quick off the face, still very low spinning, but maybe a little bit more forgiving than what Stealth 1 was. Let's head back over to the course, hit some on the grass in the real world. I'm so hot in here, and then give you our verdict on the old Stealth 2. So yeah, interesting numbers coming out of the GC Quad. It's a shame that I hit the Stealth Plus really, because I kind of knew the data before I hit it. It was going to be super low spinning. It does go a long way, this driver, when you catch it out of the middle. But for me, the combination of the smaller head, low spin, 9 degrees of loft, I'm a player that's always going to struggle to get a bit of launch on that club. I wish I'd have tested the Stealth Standard, but good numbers nevertheless, always good to have a look. Let's finish this video up with hitting some. You can drive this green straight across the corner, and I'm going to give it a go with the Stealth 2 Standard. I don't know if I should keep calling it the Stealth 2 Standard, but I'm going to keep calling it the Stealth 2 Standard. I'm going to hit 3 more across the corner, meet you on the green, see if I can hole one. No, I'm not going to hole one. Meet you down on the green and give you the GSG grading of this golf club, what I think about it, and then let you lovely people get on with your day. All right, I don't want to take up any more of your time. All right, no more time. Right, let's send some across the corner. That's got a chance. That's got a chance. Oh, take 2. Oh, I've hit that one bad. It's on a good line, but that was relatively necky. That was old neck ball. That was low neck ball, and it's actually done half decent. Right, last ball. Let's get down there, see what ones have hit the green, and then give it the old famous GSG. That one ain't going to be on the green. I've enjoyed it. Let's see if any of them are on the green. So what do I think? Stealth 2. Well, first let's give it a GSG. The Stealth Plus 2, I'm just going to say it, I don't like it. I don't like the driver. I'm going to give it a separate GSG to the standard Stealth 2. GSG on this, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think for the average golfer, for the market that this is aimed at, the head's too low spin, the head's not forgiving enough, and I don't really enjoy hitting this driver at all. But the Stealth 2, this was the surprise one from today's video. GSG on this, I'm going to give it a solid 7.8. 7.8 out of 10. The sound, for some reason, to me, it doesn't sound as dull, as carbony as the previous years. I do enjoy the looks of this one, probably a little bit more. I'm not a big fan that they've changed it from a matte finish on the top to a gloss finish, but I do like the red ring that runs around the outside of the golf club, which you can see at address. Twist carbon face, twist face, I've tested it before. I don't really buy into it too much, but it is a cool little gimmick. And then probably the biggest takeaway is how strong the flight is on this. This is a 10.5 degree head, and I was hitting it high and I was hitting it far. So overall, Stealth 2, will it be going in my bag this year? Probably not, but it would stand a chance. I'm looking forward to putting a head-to-head together this year of all of the new drivers coming out. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We've got reviews of all of the new clubs. January is almost like tech month. Everything is coming out in January, so subscribe to the channel to stay tuned with all of that. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button, ring the bell, you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. The Stealth, tacky head cover, good club. See you in the next one.